Greetings, Earthlings, aliens, other miscellaneous life forms, and of course my Moonbeam team, and welcome to Planet Moonstar. I'm MX Moonstar. Now today, folks, I would like to make a little video about the best way to go around and actually collect everything in this game. So, first things first, when you log on, you start here. So what I like to do first is I like to go around and collect all 3 of my game tickets, because you can only get 3 of them per day and they're always in the same place, luckily. Then what I like to do is I like to go ahead and open the chest to see what I picked yesterday, and I get those items. So I got 5 Cinder Blooms from yesterday. Okay, so then what I need to do is actually go ahead and find comics and CDs. So the best way to do this is to have both the comic spawn locations open and the Seaside, the comics and the CDs up as well to see where you need to go. And then I base picking up everything around those 2 things. So I base it around the CD spawns and I base it around the comic spawns. So in the Seaside Resort, as well as comics and a CD, you're looking for your event currency. Mine's just decided to crawl away. You're also looking for sticks, pineapples, coconuts, lotus blossoms, rubber, things like that, you know, and sand dollars. Not sure if I said that. And basically, you're just going to go around the Seaside Resort and pick up anything you see. And while you're doing this, you're going to check comic locations as well. So that was 1, so there's already 1 comic. And then you've got the rubber, and then there's a stick here. Sometimes the game does do like a little lag, but that's all right. We don't mind a little bit of lag. And basically what I'm doing is I'm referencing the CD spawn locations, and I'm just basing my collecting off that. I'm not going to go around and collect everything, because that's a bit too much, to be honest with you. I'm just going to go around and collect most things, because that's all you really need to do. You don't need to go around and collect everything unless you really want to, you know. You just need to go around and collect most things. Like, as long as you're getting like 10 of each item a day, you should be all right, you know. So don't worry too much. And I'm just going around and I'm like checking for the sand dollars, and I'm checking for CDs as well at the same time. There can be a CD that's up here, and it's not. That's okay. And there can also be comics. No, okay. There can also be. This is so weird recording a video like this. It really is. So essentially, I'm just going around the island and I'm just picking up everything, and I'm looking for CDs and comics at the same time. So sometimes there can be a comic CD, sorry, all the way over here, but there's not today. That's okay. And there can also be a sand dollar here as well, but there's not today either. And there can also be a CD on this bit as well, but there's not today. Okay, so that leads me to believe it's either on the Cozy Islands or it's in the Seaside Resort itself. So what I like to do then is actually go ahead and teleport over to the resort docks. This video might be a little bit long just because like I've got to like show you how I do it, you know, and it does take a little while to actually go around and collect everything. So there can be a CD like here as well, but there's not. That's okay. There can also be a CD over here. There's not. And it's not a bad idea to just like go back and like check things. The devs do like to hide things, so sometimes you'll find items in like bushes and stuff like that, so it's worth a check just to make sure you've got everything, you know. There can be a CD here as well sometimes, and there's a piece of rubber here, so I'll pick that up. And then, oh, I forgot to go behind Tuxedo Sam's shop, but there's nothing here today. So sometimes there's a bit of rubber or something. We'll pick these up though. Beautiful, and this pineapple. Then we go up here. And then I can see that there's some event currency, so I will actually go ahead and I will go pick that up. So that's our event currency for today. There's a sand dollar here. And then let's go up here. There's another stick. There's sometimes a stick here as well. And there can be a stick here. There can also be a comic here sometimes. And there's normally 2 lotus blossoms there, but I don't think there is today. Sometimes there's a stick here, but there's not. There's a pineapple and a stick and a lotus blossom. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to check the roof. And there's nothing there. There is a piece of rubber there though. Check in front of, behind Pichacho. Nothing behind Pichacho. Okay. So we haven't found our CD so far, but we will. We will. Of course we will. It might be on the Cozy Islands, because that happens quite a lot. So then I'll go to this little area here, and there can be sticks over here, and there can also be rubber here sometimes as well. And here's our CD. Brilliant. So once I found the CD, I do tend to relax a little bit, and I just sort of go around and just pick up as much as I can before I need to move on, you know? So now we're over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and like pick everything up that I see. It's a good idea just to keep your eye on, like, if you're not very good with like your vision and stuff, just keep your eye on like the corner of the screen and look for the hand icon. That means you've gone past something or you're near something you can pick up. So definitely do that. Sometimes it's a good idea as well to like jump up really high and then just like float around. You'll be able to see things better. The devs hide coconuts and stuff in here, and there's a pineapple as well. Brilliant. And there's also a comic that tends to spawn down here. There it is. Lovely, lovely. Okay, and there is a piece of rubber here, and there's also that. Now, I'm not sure how many comics roughly there are in each area, but I am going to quickly just check down here for any, because sometimes there are some comics here. Okay, so there's some sand dollars. There's some sand dollars. There's a stick there. Sometimes there can be comics around here, but it seems like that was the only one today. We've also got another event currency to pick up, which I mean the bug. Okay, there is a comic here, and there's our event currency. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. There's our sand dollar. Sometimes there's a sand dollar that spawns by these rocks, but it looks like a rock, so just bear that in mind. Pick this up. You gotta be careful when picking that particular one up, because you can activate the null, and then you gotta wait for it to go away, you know. So now we're gonna go ahead and check the Cozy Islands, because we've not been there yet. So then we're just going through. We're just checking for sand dollars. Checking for comics. Okay, I believe there's only one comic spawn location on this island. But you can get some sand dollars here, and here's the comic. Lovely. And I believe there might be like some coconuts or something maybe. Anything here? No. Sometimes CDs can like spawn here, all the way along here. But there we go. We've done the Seaside Resort. We've got lotus blossoms. We've got sticks. Now we're going to move on to the resort gate area. So let's go to the resort gate area. We've already been to Chocolate Cat's Pier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this little island on the side here. Pick this up. Sometimes there could be a comic up here as well. And there's a sand dollar here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go across here. And there's always a stick here that I always go past. Now, over here you'll find more sand dollars, and you will find some coconuts as well. So there's a coconut, there's a sand dollar, lots of sand dollars, and they're always handy, these sand dollars. They really are. More sand dollars. Not found any coconuts yet though. Yeah, sometimes there are some coconuts like dotted around and stuff. I don't usually go up here because it's not super duper worth it. Like, there's nothing like too interesting going on up in Dune Lagoon at the moment. But sometimes you can find a few sand dollars scattered around. But what I like to do instead is actually go to the beach that's underneath Gemstone. So that's what we're going to do now, because we can get more sand dollars and we can get more coconuts. It would be an idea while you're walking around to actually go ahead and bring Pichacho with you, because he will help you walk faster. And what I would do at the same time is I would actually be like trying to catch things, like bugs, critters and stuff, because that'll be handy for you in the long run. So now we're just picking up sand dollars, seeing what else is here. There's another sunset scooter. Okay, nothing here. Sometimes there can be a CD on here, and there can also be a CD on here, but we are going into Rainbow Reef territory now. Oh, and there is a CD. So we have actually found our Rainbow Reef CD, so that's quite good. I always check there, even though I'm not like in the Rainbow Reef at the moment, just because it is connected to the beach and it's just easier to get to when I'm walking around on land. So I do just do like a quick run like over here just to like check for any sand dollars or whatever. And yeah, once I reach like this point, I tend to pick a different area to actually go ahead and collect things in. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Rainbow Reef. And because I've got Hangudong with me, we will be able to go a little bit faster, which is quite nice. So let me just get it on the right screen. There we go. It's kind of like I'm doing a live stream, but not really. So cool. So there are a bunch of coral milk to collect. So what I do, because we have already collected our Rainbow Reef CD by accident, what I like to do is go ahead and get another resource that I need. I get that resource's spawn map up, and I use that to actually go around and like collect everything. So a lot of these coral milks are all over the Seaside Resort, and I do take this time to pick up any starfish, pick up any trash. Trash, you don't really have to worry too much because it does respawn every 30 minutes. I don't know who is littering on the island, but they're littering at an extraordinary rate. And basically, you just go around and you just get everything you can see. Sometimes looking in the dark is much more harder. What is that? Oh, apparently that was a piece of rubbish. Sometimes going in the dark is a lot harder, so I would actually recommend doing this in the daytime. I'm only doing it now because I've got my face like right up to the screen. And yeah, we're just collecting starfish and everything like that. So there can be like 12 coral milks to collect all over the Rainbow Reef. What you'll want to do while you are collecting resources is actually be checking your CD spawns and make sure you are indeed checking each of the spawn areas thoroughly in order to make sure you do get your CD. If you don't collect your CD, it will still be there tomorrow and you won't get a new one in its place, so it is important to actually go around and collect them all, you know? There is a big challenges chest there that I've not opened. So what I like to do then is sort of like go around this way a little bit. Sometimes I do get a bit disorientated, so what I like to do is just check the map just to see where I am roughly. Okay, so what we need to do is actually go to the sunken ship, but there is a box clam here as well. I'm not worrying about like collecting everything. I'm just worrying about collecting like things that we really need. Okay, sometimes there can be like comics and stuff here as well. So let me just get my comic sheet up. Okay, so we have actually gone past a couple already. So let me... Okay, there is a comic. Brilliant. Lovely. So this might not be the best way to do things, but it's the way I do things, and it tends to work for me. I tend to get comics and CDs every day, and that's literally the main thing, you know? That's the main thing. Okay, so where am I on the map? I'm a little bit... Okay, so we're now by the sunken ship, and there are like 14... Oh, we just did a daily quest. There are like 14 chocolate coins to collect. Chocolate coins can be scattered everywhere. Sometimes this chocolate coin is a bit of a pain to get. Just make sure you're as close to it as you can get. Sometimes going the other side of it can be a little bit easier for you to grab it for some reason. I don't know why. Now we're just getting all of our chocolate coins. This one can be tricky to get sometimes as well. Anything on the ship actually can be kind of tricky. There can be a comic here somewhere, I think. Like, oh yeah, here. Okay. And then there can be a CD under this knoll, so just bear that in mind. because that one's quite tricky to spot with the null on top of it. There's a shell there. There is a chocolate coin. Sometimes the chocolate coins are in the corals themselves. Was that a chocolate coin? No, that was just scenery. Okay, but that's a chocolate coin. Okay. Okay, there can be a CD like around here as well sometimes. But I think we're done with the sunken ship, so let's actually move on to the next area. Okay, so now we're looking for comics and shells and stuff. There can be sometimes... Oh, oops. Let me just check the thing. Yeah, okay, I would have seen it. I would have seen it if there was a comic. But there wasn't. Okay, so now we're going to go to the kelp maze. Now, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I do skip over the kelp maze. But what I'm trying to do is just sort of look for a particular area. Because there is a box clam, and there's also a starfish. Okay. Yeah, sometimes there's a shell down here. Sometimes CDs can actually like spawn on top of the boxes that are like floating around as well in the Rainbow Reef, so it's a good idea to check those whilst you're floating around and stuff. There's another starfish. Yeah, I definitely recommend doing this in the day because it's much easier to see. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I have already found my Reef CD, I'm still gonna sort of show you all the different areas I do checks for the CD. So there can be one which is right by the comedy club. I'm gonna pick up things as I go as well. There can also be a CD like around this bit here, and there can also be a CD that's that is like over here roughly. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the comedy club. I'm just going to pick this up because I've just seen... Oh, sorry, Mr. Null. Seen that, so I thought I'd pick it up. I have decided to go back and record this bit because I thought, oh, people might need to like go around with me and look for CDs, because, you know, the Reef CD might not be easy to find. Okay, so there can be a comic here as well. So now what we're going to do, pick up this bit of trash. I'm just going to check on the map where we are. Okay, so I need to go up. So there can be, I believe, there can be another CD like around here. Obviously there's not, we're not going to find that because, you know, we've already found it. There can be a CD on these boxes. Make sure you are checking the floating boxes as well. There's a there. Is there? Okay, I think there is. I think there can be a CD like over here, but obviously there's not because I already found it, of course. What I would do when you're going around as well in the Rainbow Reef is actually get your bubble wand out and just start zapping these critters, you know, catching them. Okay, so where are we now? Okay, we're here. So there's 2 points. So there can be like a CD like around here, and then there can also be another CD around like I think this bit here. Maybe another CD here. And then there's 2 locations over here where there can be a CD. There's like if you just like go down, can be a CD here. I think. Okay, no comics here, but there can be a CD on the floor of this bit. There can also be a CD on like one of these like shelves. I'm not really sure what you call them. Rocks, yeah, probably. And then what you can do is you can go ahead and check this bit here. So there can be a CD on this little like rock bit here, and there can also be a CD like around here. There's not. There can also be a CD up on this tunnel above us, rock tunnel thing, which is like around like here somewhere. Okay, and then there's another little like location, isn't too far away from here actually, so there can be another one like here, obviously not. So we've checked most of that. What we need to check now is like the sunken ship area, essentially. So let's go to the sunken ship. And we've already checked 2 locations for the Rainbow Reef, but I might just show you again just to make sure I did in fact show you. So I'm recording this a little bit after. Okay, so there can be one under this knoll. There can also be a comic over here as well with this little like, oh, not over here, I mean. Can be a comic around here. So then if I just show you quickly on the map, there can be like a CD here and then a CD where I'm putting the cursor here as well. And those are 2 bits I showed you earlier. Then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go this way, and then we've got another like 4 places we can check for the reef. So there can be a CD around this area here, and then there can be a CD above water on this like rock tunnel here, and then there can also be a CD. Where are you? Okay, I've gone past it. So there can also be a CD this way as well. Comic here, yeah, there can be a comic here. I think I picked it up earlier though, but there can be a CD here. And then there's one more place you can find a CD, and that'll be by this knoll here. Roughly. Around here. Right about here. But those are all your spawning points for the reef, essentially. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go around the spooky swamp. Let's go. Let's go! So, we're looking for CDs, and we're looking for comics, and all the other collectibles that you can get in the spooky swamp, like glowberries, mushrooms, stuff like that. So I just go here because sometimes there can be a CD here first, so I do go there first. Normally I go here after I've done... Ooh! Come on! There we go. So I will just go around, I'll pick up the lotus blossoms, anything that I might see, any comics. Sometimes there can be like a comic around this area here. Pick these up as well, pick these up. Just picking up as much as I possibly can. Nothing there. It's always good to make sure you're having a good look around, you know? Because sometimes there can be some hiding and whatnot. Okay. You've also got spinibs and swamp mallows to get in this. And if I had my net out, I could I could catch this lily frog as well, which probably would be a good idea. Okay. And there's always a glowberry here I do tend to forget as well. And then we're just going to go around and pick these up here. Okay, so spinibs can be quite hard to see because they just look like grass and like bushes and stuff. But they are there. They are there. Can get them all. There can be like spinibs hidden in like this bit sometimes as well. So now we're picking this up. There's a swamp mallow there. Sometimes there can be a CD around here as well. There doesn't seem to be today. Pick this up. Try and do one area at a time. Sometimes there can be CDs behind here as well. And there's always an apple. There are some mushrooms down there, but I don't always go and pick them up. Oh. Yeah, there's a swamp mallow there. There's also a mushroom there. Then, ooh, I love that you can just cancel that these days. So there is a spinib here. Sometimes there is a spinib in here which you can't see. And that is absolutely insane. It really is. So I just go along here, then I'll go collect these free mushrooms. I try and go, and if there's a lot of one item, I try and go to the places that have a lot of one item in a very concentrated area, just to get everything, you know. There's always a comic there. Not always, but most of the time there is. So then we're gonna go up here. Look up here as well for any CDs. Sometimes there is one around here, and then we'll go back down. Okay, there is a spinip over there, so I do like to go ahead and go grab that first before we go backwards a little bit. Okay, then it's pumpkins time. And there's quite a few pumpkins to collect. There's like 7 per day. There can be one there as well. There can be a CD by Karomi's Potion Hunt. There's swamp mallows here. Okay, now we need to actually go underwater. So there is one there, there's one there, and there's one there. So those are our spinibs. So let's actually go ahead and move on to the maze and the spooky mansion. So I could have caught that pumpkin spiceler as well while I was there, but I didn't. So there is a pumpkin here. Sometimes there can be a CD here, which there is. How are you meant to see that? I don't know. It's quite a bad spawn point, is that one. Then what I like to do is just quickly go around the maze. This is the time where if it was nighttime, I would actually go ahead and catch any bush buddies for Karopi, because he quite likes them. I go up to the trees in the maze because sometimes they do have apples on them. They don't always though, but most of the time they do. Okay, so there's nothing here. So let's go up to this area up here, and we're just gonna climb. Height is your best friend, okay? So like, oh, yep, there can also be a comic here as well. Sorry, I'm very congested today. Just going around picking up all the mushrooms. Because we found the CD, we don't need to check the CD spawn points anymore, which is lovely. We just need to look for the comics and stuff. Okay, just make sure I get everywhere. Now there can be a comic on this tree here, which there is, and it's froggy power. Nice. Okay, picking up all the mushrooms that I see. Could catch those glow buddies as well. We do have some spinibs here to collect, so let's grab them. And the way I do it, I don't go around and collect every single thing. I just make sure I collect most things, you know, because nobody has enough time to go and collect everything. There can be a hidden comic here as well, which there is. So I'm just going to grab that. There can also be a comic here. And there can also be a comic over here. There is. Okay. So how you get this one is you jump up. Oh, there is an apple here as well that I missed. So it's quite handy sometimes going back for the comics and stuff, because you might be able to find stuff that you've actually missed. Like I missed that apple. And I'm pretty satisfied that I got most of everything in the spooky swamp. I could go around a ghost tour ride and look for more mushrooms, but I'm quite happy with how many I managed to get during my time in the spooky swamp. So we're going to move on to Gemstone, which is quite a big one. Okay, so now we're in Gemstone and we start the whole process over again. Gemstone does take longest. So first off, I check down here for a CD that can be in the water. Then what I like to do is pop over here and check if there's a comic, which there is. And then I can also see that there's some shinies around the place. There's also a tumblebug, and I didn't get it in time because they're quite fast. But they're quite handy to get around here as well. There can also be a comic on this tunnel rock bridge thing. And there's also a shiny here. There's another shiny here. I'm actually gonna go this way first, because I always go this way first. Oh, it's stuck on everything. Okay. Another way that you can see things a bit easier is to actually do the zip lines, and you'll be able to see where certain items are a little bit easier. Height is definitely your best friend in this game. So I like to jump on each of these mountains. You don't have to do this, you can just walk around like a normal person, but I do like to look, because like I said, height is super handy. Ooh, okay. So there can be a CD over here. There can also be a comic, but there's no comic today. So what I'm going to do instead, I just drop down. Okay, and there's nothing there. Bruh. So I'll go back to Gemstone, and then I will check some more locations for CDs. So there was actually a CD location I was meant to check over here, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna recheck it. I think it's bit. Sorry, do forgive me. Okay, so there can be a CD here as well. But we checked a little bit of the portion that I wanted to check. So let's continue. Let's pick up the shinies. There are 50 shinies you can get per day, so don't panic if you don't get them all. Just get as many as you can. Okay, so now we're back at the dance hall, and there's nothing that usually spawns around here. That's okay, we'll go down here instead. So pick up some more shinies. There's a couple around here. Okay, then I'll just very quickly pop over here, see if there's anything I need to pick up. Was that something? Nope, that was just a reflection. Okay, so I'll pop around back here, and there's nothing there. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump up here. I'm just going to start picking up some of the shinies and stuff that are up here in particular, just to make sure I get as many as I can. I'll go across the bridge just so I can check again sometimes, you know, because sometimes you can miss things. Now, where are we? We are, I think, yeah, we're here. So our next CD is going to be like over here, if it is here. So we pop over here, we check over here. There can be a CD and there can be a comic here as well, so it's a good spot to check. Then we're gonna go up. You could just teleport to the mailbox, just making it harder on myself. There can be a CD here. Oh, yeah, definitely a CD. So it can be a CD here, but there's not. The map for Gemstone is absolutely huge, so I'm just trying to make sure I get everywhere. So there can be another CD here, but there can also be one like down here. There's also a shiny, so I'll pick that up. There's also another shiny as well. Then what I'll do, I'll go back up here. There can be another CD here. Pick up the shiny. I'll go across past the rockadoodlers. And then I will check behind the rockadoodlers because there can be a CD over there. Can also be a comic. I'm just going to pick that shiny up because I accidentally went past it. So as you can see, I'm not picking up everything, but I'm picking up most things. Okay, there can be a CD here. There can also be a comic here, which there is. Wonderful. There can be coconuts around this area, but more so closer to the lake. Okay, so I'm just checking just to make sure I don't miss anywhere in particular. Okay, there is a coconut there, so I'll pick that up, pick that up. Like I said, I'm not worrying about getting everything, just most things. You know, get this bug while I'm at it. Like this coconut. Just checking my CD spawn thing. Just make sure I'm in the right place. Okay, I need to like go down. So I need to go down here. Okay, there is a coconut here. There's also another coconut here. There's a comic there. So we got the comic. Another coconut. Wonderful, wonderful. Comic. Brilliant. So now we need to look for CDs and stuff. So we've actually done quite a bit of Gemstone already, but we need to go by Pom Pom's boat on the other side. Get any coconuts and look for other CD spawning points as well. So let's very quickly, okay, there's a coconut there. Going across the bridge, picking these coconuts up. There is a CD, there we go. But we will need to go in the crystal caves anyway. So I will show you where I do check for that. Okay, so let me just check the map, make sure I get everything around here. There is a shiny. Okay, so I think now we'll go collect the cactus creams because we're quite close by. Oh, pick that up, pick that up, pick that up. For any coconuts, there is a coconut. Wonderful. Okay, now it's cactus cream time. So there's like 12 or 14 or something like that to collect of these. Just pop around, just pick up as much as you can. There's also a comic here, lovely. And a shiny. Getting all sorts of things. Wonderful, wonderful. Another one, another one, another one, another one. Oh, sorry, Mr. Null. I'm on a mission. Very busy at the moment, mate. Sorry. Okay, we need to pick this one up. And there's also a shiny. I'm gonna go up on this thing so I can just look around. This would be so much easier to do if it was daytime, so make sure you switch it to daytime, folks. You'll be able to see things so much easier. Okay, so I'm quite happy with what we got for collectibles on Gemstone. We found comics, we found CDs, but we are going to go ahead and pop into the crystal caves themselves, and I'm going to pretend that I haven't already found my CD. Okay. Let me just make sure. Oh, oops. Oh dear. What did I do? Ah, crystal caves. Okay, let me just. Okay, so no comics in the caves, but we're gonna look at the CD spawning points. So in the crystal caves, we're collecting the calming crystals. We're collecting iron. There's gonna be like 7 pieces of it, so that's 1 piece of iron. Okay, sorry, that was my headphones turning off. There's 1 piece of iron. There can be a CD in this room as well. Let me just show you very quickly. So normally it's like around here, but there's not one today. So obviously, because I've already found it, but I am going to show you where to look, you know? Okay, so now, oh, I didn't need to take a capture. So now we're in this room. There's only one place you'll find a CD, and it's right at the top here, but there is also a piece of iron, so that's 3 iron. It's 3 iron. So there can be like a CD in this purple room here, and yeah, it can like be around like the edges and stuff. And there's also a twinkle bug I could have caught as well, so make sure you do check in the room. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go into a different room. I believe it's like down here. Okay, so in this room we're looking for iron, so that's 4 iron we've got currently. There's also a stony sluggler. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We're just going to go no, we're not going to go quite straight through, because we do want to actually have a little check. So there can be like one around here, but there's not. And there can also be in here as well. Oh, there is a twinkle bug. Oh, there's not, because we've obviously found it, but I would be checking in here as well. So now we're going to move on to the next room. I believe it's the big room next. I think it's like the second biggest room in the Crystal Caves. Okay, right, so we're in here now. So a CD can like pop here. And we're just going to go straight up, and in here. And the CD can be like around here. Oh, there we go. I did a task for Pam as well. Nice. Okay, wonderful. Then what we'll do is just pop over here very quickly, and there can be a CD like next to this puzzle room, and then we're gonna like go backwards because we need to make sure we are collecting our iron as well. Iron. Yeah, so the iron can be like along this path, which is quite nice. There's also, okay, yeah, I'm not close to it yet. I was going to say there's another one here, but I'm not quite close to it. I think it's like here, maybe a little bit further actually. I think it might be this bit. There can be another CD, and then there can be another CD in here as well. There's a lot of places it can be. There's also a twinkle bug, so I'm going to catch that. But there can be a CD in here as well. Make sure you're checking the edges and stuff, because sometimes you won't find it as soon as you walk in. You got to like look around a little bit. Then we're going to move on to the final room in the Crystal Cave. So we're going to go through this green door here, I believe. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to pick up 7 calming crystals. So that's 1, 2, another piece of iron. It's 3 calming crystals, 4, 5, 6, 7, yay, okay. And then what I do is I do go ahead and I go on the ride to get some fizzy crystals. So let's do that. Sorry. Oh, I'm so congested. Okay, so now we're just going around and getting all of our fizzy crystals. You can go the same way as me if you want to, or you can like pick which way you want to go. But they've simplified the Crystal Caves a lot since I first started playing, and it's so much better. And it's so much more quicker to actually collect everything, which is lovely, especially if you haven't got a lot of time, you know? Because you won't always need to go around and collect all 50 of them, but it is nice to, when you can, to actually go around and collect everything. So the ride itself can take a little while to go around. So remember which choice you pick here, because next time you're going to want to pick the opposite, so you can go around and pick the next set of crystals up. Okay, so we're gonna go back again, and then we just gotta wait until we actually go round. It does take a little bit, so it's just a bit of a waiting game. We're gonna go past this one again, and then the next one is where we want to pick the opposite direction. We're gonna go all the way to the top. I don't think there's a quicker way of getting over there to get the crystals that you missed, which is unfortunate. It would be really nice if they were all on one path and you didn't have to, you know, go around all the time, but it's all right. Okay, so we're almost there. We're gonna pick this way because we went left earlier. Gosh, that was so hard for me to like say. But you don't actually have to go round twice. It's just if you particularly need the fizzy ore, you know. That's the only time I'd recommend going around twice, just to save time, because obviously this does take a little while to go around and you could be doing other things, you know, especially if your time is limited on certain days and whatnot. So we've actually gone around and collected everything. So what I do at this point, I exit the ride and then I start making preparations to go to Mount Hothead. So we've been around the areas that I dread. So I quite dread going around Gemstone because the CDs can be in the caves and they can be outside of Gemstone as well. And that's a pain. So what I do in Mount Hothead, bear with. Okay, so we're going to start at the Caldera mailbox. And then we're just going to go around and collect everything. So there can be a comic up here, which there is. So I'm just going to grab that. There can also be a CD here as well, but there's not. There can be... Oh, 2 Eruptoads. Well, oh, there we go. Some Eruptoads as well, handy. So there's lots of obsidian shards hiding. So it's a good idea just to grab them whenever you see them. There's also a comic here. There can also be a CD here as well, but there's not. There's also an obsidian shard over there. And now we're gonna go and we're gonna go to the upper ruins entrance because we're gonna do the outsides. What I mean by that is the free little like areas that are around here like this. We're going to target them first because you can get iron, you can get obsidian shards, and you can also get cinnablooms. So I just sort of dropped down here first. Now there's only obsidian shard on there. I'm not particularly interested in at the moment. However, I do see 2 cinnablooms down here, so I will actually go and pick them up because cinnablooms are always handy. So it's just about like prioritizing what you need and whatnot. Okay, I'm just gonna check over here as well very, very quickly. There's some toasted almonds. There's that. Sometimes there can be some like hidden toasted almonds there. So it's a good idea just to grab them. There can also be one here as well. I'm also looking for CDs as I'm doing this. There can be... Where am I? I'm by the... Ah, right. Okay, so there can be a CD like... Ooh. Can be a CD over here. There can also be a CD by this building here. Not. And there can also be a CD over here as well. But there's just some iron and some toasted almonds. No obsidian shards. Sometimes there's a couple here. Sometimes there is a CD down here. Not today. There's iron on this particular area, and there's sand dollars. So that is what I like to do. I just like to go around and grab as many of the things as I can. There's also a little grub that I will grab. Some toasted almonds. And a nut piece of iron and a sand dollar. There's our CD. Brilliant. But what I will do, I will still go through the caves for you as well to show you which way I do go for that. This video does help if you do have the locations maps that are on the wiki. So it would be an idea to watch this video and have those maps as well. Or you could just watch this video and then you'll find out about the maps and then you can just sort of do your own thing then, you know? It's whatever you prefer. Sometimes it's nicer to have some company, sometimes it's better to like go and do your own thing. Depends on what type of player you are, you know? And how much of my voice you hate. There we go, catch this fume fly as well. So as we're going, we are looking for CDs. Always be on the lookout for CDs and stuff. So we're going through here. There can be a Magnablooms around here. Obsidian shards. I'm not going around clicking every single obsidian shard because I'd be here for ages. But you can collect mostly everything, you know. Oh, I meant to grab that, but I didn't. So down here, there isn't anything too exciting. There can be some extra sand dollars and stuff. But what you can do is actually like go up here. Okay, yeah. We made it. There can be a CD up here, so it's a good idea to just like go and check all the way. We're gonna go across to like over here, and there's Magnablooms. There's a Magnabloom. Right, there can be a CD by this building here. There's a Magnabloom. We're gonna jump across, and there's Magnablooms over here. Sometimes there's comics here as well. There's not today. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go collect this Magnabloom, collect this obsidian shard. Am I missing anywhere in particular? Okay, I think. Yeah, okay, there can be a comic up here as well. There is. Brilliant. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. And there can be a comic, I believe, like on this bit here. On this bit, maybe? So around here there can be a... so now we're at the Mount Hothead mailbox. There's another point. I'm just going to check quickly for a comic because I'm not 100% sure if I did check it or not. Sometimes I do miss out on some comics. I don't check them. Have been down here to check the house, but I will just quickly glance over it again. Yeah, okay. So we do need to go and check the Mount Hothead pier, which is something I did forget to do when I was on this ground. So let's go do that again. So you would go to the pier as you're going around this area at the beginning. Didn't catch it, it's alright. Sometimes there can be a CD down there. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go to this bit and we're going to drop down to the left, check for any signs of any cinna blooms, and there is one there. Wonderful, wonderful. Then I just sort of take this opportunity to like just sort of float down and just check if I've like missed anything super duper important, and I'm all right with that. So what I will do then is I will go back up here and check the right side. Oh, let's do that. Go over here, and then there is a cinna bloom, and there should also be some iron. It normally is. Sometimes it's not. But oh, there's some iron. So there's our cinna bloom. Now for the rest of our cinna bloom, what we're gonna do is bear with. Then what I'll do is check this particular entrance here because there can be a cinna bloom inside. And I'll just show you the map when I get in so I can show you which area I'm in. And I believe there can be just the one in here. So I will actually go ahead and grab that. I don't tend to bother getting the rest of the cinna blooms because you have to keep going in the different like lava caves, the ruins bit, sorry, and it can get a little bit overwhelming, so I just tend to just grab that particular one in that particular entrance. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the cauldron and we're going to go through and I'm going to find some CDs for you. Some possible CD spawning points, sorry. Let me just make sure I've got the map up. Brilliant. Now, no comics should be in here. It should just be in Mount Hothead that you'll find the comics themselves. So, once you're in, there's 3 different areas, 2 different areas, sorry, that it can spawn. You can get one here, and you can get one here as well, roughly. So let's just go through and actually go to those different places. Jump. Okay, so our first one I check is over here. Wonderful. There's no CD because we've already found it, but you know, just doing this like I would be checking. Okay, so there's also no CD around here either. Lovely. Now let me just check the map because I do get myself a little bit disoriented. Yeah, it would have been around here roughly next to this building bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the ride. We're going to take a little ride. Let's say it's around here. So there it is. So now the next room we should go in, I believe we'll have 2 different spawning points. So let's just have a little look. Beautiful. So now you should be in this room and we're going to check up first. So there's easier ways of getting up here. I just do this for convenience sake. There can be a CD like around here, so just keep your eyes open. Obviously you don't want to play with your eyes closed. And then what you're going to do is you're going to jump to this particular area here. I believe it's like, I think it's here, it can be, yeah, roughly. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go back up here and we're going to go through the little tunnel that's up here. Okay, and that should lead us to... Where does that lead us to? Aha. So this room has 3 possible spawning points. So we're actually checking one of the spawning points right now. So then what we're going to do is we're going to actually... Oh, that might be better actually. Okay, so go back up here just to avoid jumping on the rocks. Because, yeah, it's easy enough to do, but it can get a little bit annoying sometimes. Sometimes you just want to go a different way, you know? Sometimes you don't want the risk of falling in the lava. So just go back over here, and then we can jump across the rocks. So there can be a CD here, we're just going to go ahead and jump across because we have no choice now but to do that. You can also sort of use the air from the, I don't know what they're called, and sort of float over as well, which can be quite useful. There can be a CD spawning point in this room, in this area where I am now as well. And then we're going to move to another area, and there's only one possible CD spawning point. And luckily, it's quite easy to get to, and it's here. And there we go. And you can also catch magmitas and banner beetles here as well. So I'm just going to do that because always handy to have, you know, don't come in here very often. Might as well make the most of it. Now we're going to move on to Icy Peak. Okay, so now that we're in Icy Peak, we are going to check for CDs and snowsicles. You can't get any comics here currently. So here's our first spawning point for a snowsicle. And there's another snowsicle here. And we're also looking for 2 CDs on this particular area. Now what I like to do is I like to do a little jump down. And I just check all the different little entrances for snowsicles, and what I like to do as well is I do like to actually go inside just to check if there is a CD. Just depends on where I am. So I'm in the one with the 2 rooms. There's 3 spawning points here. There can be a CD that spawns around here, and then there can also be, I think that was a CD actually. Yeah, it was. Brilliant. Okay, so we've already found our CD, but I will still go in all the different places just to show you what I would do if I hadn't found it. So there was 2 spawning points there. They were on opposite sides of the room from each other in the second room I just went in. Then what we're going to do is we're going to drop down to the bottom over here, because there can be some snowsicles down here as well. And there's one. Wonderful, just completed a quest. Brilliant. Now we're going to go back up, because like I said, height is definitely your friend in this game. Having the height advantage really does help, you know? So now we're going to go in this particular room, and I will quickly show you where we are. Okay, so we're on the one with the bridges. So there's 2 spawning points. One can be over here, and then the next one can be over here on this area. Oh, I haven't opened this chest. I might as well open it. I'm going to recharge potion. Brilliant. So what I would do, I will now exit this particular area. Okay, let's see where we are, because I never know where we're going to pop out, to be honest. Okay, so we have already been to this bit. Yeah, I think we have. Yeah, because I just picked up Cinnabloom. So we're going to go back up here. So now we're going to go to this bit and check in here. Okay, are we in? Okay, we're in the one with the one room. So there's only 1 spawning point for this room, and it's around here for the CD, and it's not there, so, you know, we gotta leave. So now we gotta find the room with the 2 little docks. Oh, did not mean to press that button. But sure, so we're gonna go back up to Icy Peak, and I'm going to try and find the room. I'll be right back. There can also be a spawning point over here. Oh, I can't climb. Let me just show you very quickly. So it can be here. So make sure you do check under this bridge. Here's another snowsicle. If you go through this, you'll end up at the Icy Peak entrance. There's also another snowsicle spawning point here for you as well. And if you just head in this cave here that I was just outside of, you'll end up in the room with the 2 bridges. And there are 2 spawning points. There can be one like round, I think around here. And then there can be one around these boxes as well. And that's it for Icy Peak. Okay, let's head to the Meadow. Meadow Fields. Okay, so we're looking for pollen puffs, comics, CDs. There can be a comic here, and there can also be a pollen puff here. Oops, I went too far. No, I fell off the edge. Oh no. So if we go here, there can be some stuff here as well, but there's nothing today. Just checking everywhere. Sometimes, yeah, there's a comic here. There's also a mossling there. Oh, sorry, Mr. Knoll. I'm just after the pollen puffs, mate. Thank you. Nothing here. Nothing here. Looking for CDs, and I'm looking for comics as well. Ooh, what are my plants while I'm here? Might as well. wrong one. Okay, I'm gonna pick up the seeds as well. Quite a few things to pick up. So we found the CDs are like almost everywhere, which is lovely. We're on here. Ooh. Sometimes there can be like something on top of here as well, but there's not. Just very quickly going to water these. Beautiful, beautiful. And then there's some sakuras. Ooh, some sakuras. There's a comic. Yeah, the comic can be there. Let me just consult the list. Okay, there are some pollen puffs here. So let me just pick those up. Okay, anything in the water? Right, let's go over here. Past all the flowers. See if there's any pollen puffs or any magazines, comics for us to pick up, I mean. Oh, there's a sakura. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm literally just going to grab these super quickly, and then we're gonna climb this. Beautiful. Okay, so now we are looking for wormtails, seeds, pollen puffs. We're still looking for our CD and our comics and stuff. So it's a good idea just to like go around and like, you know, make sure you... Oh, I thought you were a CD! I was gonna say, I've never seen a CD there before. But there can be a CD like around here as well. And there is a comic. So I'm going to grab that. There's also another comic here. There's also a pollen puff. So there's like 2 places where I think there might be a CD. Okay, so that's a comic. There's a pollen puff there. There can be a CD like in the middle of this little area, but there's not. So we might have a CD over here. It's normally on like this bit. Yeah, it's not, but we do have a comic. So that leads me to believe that the CD is not in is in an area I can't get to yet, or I've missed it. So what I would do in this case, I would just go around again just to make sure, and pick it up if I have missed it, and I'll just keep looking at the map, and I'd keep looking at the game as well. I have missed a pollen puff, and there's a pollen puff here, and there's nothing else. Okay, so yeah, I haven't got full access to the rest of the Merry Meadow yet, because I'm leveling up Wish Me Mel to get to level 12 for the next giant seed. I also haven't got Cloud Island unlocked yet, so that's probably why I haven't been able to get to the next part of the Merry Meadow. But yeah, essentially that's it. Hopefully this video helps you. I may make an updated guide at some point about this, but this is just to help you, like, just to get you started, really, you know? I've been MX Moonstar. You folks have been amazing, and bye-bye!